Okay.
All right, sorry. I had made Greta host for some reason earlier when I was chatting with her, and when she left, it killed everything. So hopefully
Oh,
people will start coming back in.
yeah. Yeah. Hi, Markia.
All right.
Here they come.
Sorry, everybody. I had made Greta host for something earlier, and when she left, everything died. So thanks for coming back. All right. I think we got most everyone back. Go ahead and continue, Candace.
So part of treating your business, if you've ever been in a corporate job or any kind of job, you know that there's a schedule for it, right? You get to work at a certain time. You know you have lunch at a certain time. You know you have certain things you have to get done at a certain time. There are deadlines. There's performance reviews. We need to treat ourselves. We need the freedom to not feel like we're at a corporate job, but we also, in order to succeed, need to treat our businesses kind of in that similar fashion where we do have schedules and we do have accountability and we do performance reviews for ourselves. We also do performance reviews with our clients, right? We ask our clients to do performance reviews. And that leads me into the third one, which is, and this is mine. Um, Start to create a 5-star experience expectation from the very beginning. And some of us have talked about that, but when you are on a listing appointment, buyer or seller, one of the questions that I always ask is, what would make this a 5-star experience for you? What would knock this out of the park for you? Tell me about that. And then when they tell me, I know how to serve them, right? For some people, it's, oh, I want constant communication. For other people, it's like, go do what you do and bring me great offers. Everybody's different. So to ask that question, don't assume what the answer is going to be. Some people are like, I want you to come over and help me pack, which I've done. So you just go where your clients go. And then during the course of your relationship or your transaction, you're asking them, hey, I just want to make sure, is this still feeling like a 5-star experience for you? Is there anything I can do to improve? Don't wait till the end. Make sure you're asking that during the journey so you can correct and you can pivot and correct, kind of like sailors do when they tack. You know, they constantly are reading the wind and they're tacking to make sure that they're in the right position. So do that with your clients as well. And then when the transaction is over and you send out your survey, you're going to get high marks. And when you ask for reviews, you're getting 5-star reviews because you set that up.
Love that.
This is one of my favorites. Create an online presence. You know, we say wearing your name tag. If you don't wear your name tag, you're a secret agent. Well, guess what? If we don't have an online presence, we're a secret agent as well. We might have, you might be, if you've been in business for a long time and you have a real strong referral base, you might not need that. But if you're driving to get new business, you need an online presence. And Bill, if you let me share my screen, I'm going to show you some examples of that.
All right. While I should have said this at the beginning, but I just finalized it yesterday. Next double check. Next Tuesday, I had put a tentative time on the calendar for a daily mastermind last email, I think, and I finalized the special guest, and it needed us to adjust the time slightly. So next Tuesday, the 19th, from 1:30 to 3:30, we're going to have 2 masterminds back to back. The first mastermind is going to be launch. That's going to be agents that, let's just say, are 3 sales or less per year. That is going to be from, you're welcome to come to both, but the content on the first half from 1:30 to 2:30 will be for launch agents. And then growth agents in PC2 will be 4 units and higher per year, and that will be from 2:30 to 3:30. One of our guests, I'll go ahead and tell you who it is. It's not like it's so secret. It's one of our colleagues. Her name is Westlyn Bazilla. She has a phenomenal social media presence. Okay, she's doing it all the right way. It's not braggy. It's not overwhelming. It's very professional looking. It shows that she is kind of a what's the word I'm looking for? Not only a resource, but a very experienced resource in the messages that she's communicating. So she's going to touch a little bit on branding next week, and she's going to touch a little bit on systems. So for example, like what does she do from a social media perspective on Monday or Wednesday or Friday, and why does she do it, right? So that's going to be in this room. We will do it by Zoom, but we will have it by Zoom, but it's going to be an in-person session, 1:30 to 3:30 next Tuesday. Okay.
And if you have one-on-ones, just let me know if you're going to attend that and we'll reschedule. Okay, so I wanted to give you some examples of people who are YouTube. I love YouTube because it doesn't cost anything. You can create a YouTube channel very quickly. It takes about 5 minutes. Ken Posick is one of our agents in another market center. He was in Mega Camp, the agent who posted 80 videos and now, just kept focusing for success, focus on one thing until success. He posted about 80 videos. Now he has about 15 leads a day from his videos. He focuses on Orlando. And what he says is you have to have a face on the front of your video and you have to see the whites of someone's eyes. People like that. So you can follow Ken Posick, see what he's doing, look at his videos, see what all he's about, and get some ideas from that. I like Krista Mayshore is not one of our agents, but she does have some really great content on how to record YouTube videos on a phone if you're new, how to create videos people want to watch, how profitable is being a real estate agent. She's a coach. Her coaching is extremely expensive. Just so you know, but you can glean some really good ideas from her content. Lori Ballin is also one of our agents who teaches agents how to do different, how to create their SEO, how to build their websites, how to get real estate agents from your websites, content marketing. She's also a tremendous resource for us. And then I wanted to go to one of our top agents, the Curtin team, who are always number one. These are some of the content that her team posts. So just so different, everybody's different. Everybody posts different things, but you can look at some of the videos to get ideas. Okay. Any comments on that? Also Facebook. Facebook is important. If you use LinkedIn, I know an agent that was brand new several years ago, and she started posting pithy and substantive, I can't say the words, content that had substance. And she posted that on LinkedIn, and she's built a pretty great business as a 3-year-old agent. So utilize your LinkedIn as well. Make sure if you utilize LinkedIn that you're endorsing people. That's a way to connect with them. Okay. Learn technology and stay connected. Now, some agents, this was a common theme among the agents that I researched. Some of them said I had to hire somebody to do it for me, and the minute I hired somebody, it changed my world. It paid for itself and then some. But this one says most of the day you'll say, I don't know, but I'll find out for you as quickly as possible. That builds trust. If you don't know, say you don't know, and I'll find out for you. People respect that. Treat each person as if they were a little piece made of gold. They're just precious, right? So treat everybody in your database like little pieces of gold, and you're carrying it around. You're carrying around that precious contact. And so I'm going to a new subject from technology. Drive the route of homes you'll be showing at least twice if you can. If you've got time, make sure you can move easily without becoming anxious. And then show the best house first. The majority of buyers will be comparing all the other ones to that one. If they ask why you showed them other homes, say, I wanted you to see everything available in your price range and parameters, and I needed you to have a good one to compare them to. If you've got that opportunity, I know in our market, sometimes it's a one-off and that's all we have. But sometimes we've got an opportunity to show more than one home. Always give other agents the courtesy of feedback. You are going to be listing agents. And I can tell you, I've had several showings for my little house that needs love that's on a busy avenue. And I've stalked those agents, voicemail, text, no feedback. And I think, wow, if this were your seller who's anxiously trying to know what they can do, even if it's, oh, well, you're on a busy road, that's not for us. I have a chance to handle that objection, and I have a chance to talk to my seller to set their expectations. So always give agents the courtesy of a feedback, even if you're busy. That's part of buyer etiquette, right? If you're asking other agents or brokers for advice, listen. That's a good one. Don't argue. They have more experience. Respect that. Try not to pull out a map. I'm famous for using a GPS. I can't find my way from here to the corner without GPS. But it inspires trust from your people you're working with if you know the area and you navigate without GPS. And that's part of the reason why you drive the route if you have the luxury of doing that. Give yourself 6 months to start making money. Have a business plan, a true profit and loss that leads to profit you need. Break it out month by month and week by week. We've got the 411, we've got the GPS. If you need help with that, either Bill or I will be glad to help you. Things that this particular agent said she'd done sooner: hired a virtual assistant or admin. It paid for itself just instantly and allowed me to focus on other productive activities. Set up QuickBooks and get accounting help. Make sure that your CPA is part of your team, right? A valuable part of your team. And blogging, there were so many people that I researched that said blogging is a huge differentiator. Blogging, it builds credibility, and it also drives people to your website. And website was another thing that people said was important. Have a great website. You can, the same agents that I just showed you on social media, you can look up their websites, see what they look like. Be very firm with your most important client, and that's you. When it comes to continuously training in your skill set, make sure that you're don't let yourself down. If you say you're going to do something, do it. Treat yourself like the way you would the most valuable client you ever worked with, because you are your most valuable client. I loved that perspective. Bill, anything you want to say so far?
No, you're being very thorough. I'm sure it's on your list, but I think there's, like I've always said, you have two primary jobs. You need to learn every day, and you need to speak to people every day.
Yep.
And if enough days go by where you do that stuff, using Tammy's words from yesterday, you will slay this business. Okay. The reason why people are not successful in this business is because they are not consistent enough in the right activities. It's that simple. They're either not consistently learning and getting more confidence, they're not consistently learning about the industry at large so they know how to position themselves with the appropriate resources to be successful and helpful to the members of the community, or they're flat out just not having enough conversations with people. One of the two is happening. And if you do those two things, or both, if you do those two things, you will meet enough people to fulfill your goals. And if you learn business skills, you will adopt ideas, or you will adopt, what's the word I'm looking for? The ability to design your own life. Like, I was speaking to Candace yesterday for a second, and she didn't tell me who this is. I'll just tell you what she told me. She said she was going to have a conversation with somebody, and it was going to be like a coaching session, and they called up and said, "Oh, I have an emergency listing appointment, so I'll need to cancel our meeting." That drives me insane. You are the one that created the emergency. Okay? You are. So you have to ask yourself, what are you willing to, first of all, you set your schedule. At one point, you designed and determined what was the most important thing for you to do at that moment every single day. Then some other random person's going to come in and tell you they have a desire to hang out with you, and you're going to flip all that stuff that you had previously determined was most important. I'm going to tell you right now, guys, you need to stop that. I'm not going to tell you turn down opportunity, but when you call your doctor and say, "Hey, it's real convenient if I come in at 3:00 this afternoon," they're like, "You mean 2022? I don't know. I mean today." "Oh, we don't have any openings until 2022. But it's an emergency. Oh, I'm sorry. All these people have appointments. My schedule's full. You see what I'm saying? Your schedule should be full. It's either full with learning, full with going on appointments, full of prepping for those appointments, or full of finding the next one. If you don't have an appointment, then you should be spending that time finding it, right? So don't let somebody's debatable emergency replace things that you've already previously committed to. Would you do that if you had a dinner date with your spouse? Would you do that if you had a dinner date with your child? I think there's people in this room most likely that are a little shaky on that. They might say, well, it depends. Okay, I'm here to tell you right now, you got to create some boundaries. 99% of the time, if you say, I have a commitment at that time, but I am available at this time, or this time, or this time, do any of those work for you? They'll say, oh yeah, sure, that'll work. Try it.
I think we have a tendency to see people in exactly where you know them right then, and you don't see the possibilities out there. And sometimes the person that you are not honoring your commitment to is the person that could propel you forward in a different capacity, or
go into a little bit more detail with that. That's good. That's real good.
Well, for instance, I'll be just real transparent here. There are agents in this office that reach out with opportunities, and Bill and I have to evaluate who, because it's the reputation of the PC group as well as creating that opportunity for that agent. And we have to make a decision about who is showing up, who's honoring commitments, who's actually doing what they say they're going to do, who's working in their business. And that's how those opportunities happen. And so I think sometimes, and this was an outside agent, this wasn't an inside agent, but for me, that agent has proven to me that she went to the dance with me and she left with another person, right? And that's not only is it hurtful, it's not hurtful because it's business, but it does tend to say, oh, well, she valued the time with me less than she valued when she could have said, hey, I've got an appointment. Can I meet you in an hour? Right? Or she could have
and
called
sometimes,
me.
by the way, this is a little bit of a recruiting angle, but like, there's a good chance that woman doesn't even know what she did, or man doesn't even know what she did.
Right.
Like
Right.
that's a skill that they've yet to develop. So that might be something that says, hey, I got to ask you, we had an appointment and then this popped up. So is that a theme that you see going on in your business all the time, where one thing you've committed to and then something else replaces it? How do you ultimately go about saying yes to certain people and no to certain other people? Like, is the way you're treating your calendar serving you? Because these are, by the way, the same people who say they don't have any time. That's because they haven't learned how to deal with their time.
Right. And I would say it goes back to treating everybody in your database, no matter what capacity they're in, treat them like gold.
Yep.
It's the platinum rule, right? Okay, so back to take mass, and I love the Rainmaker's affirmation. Somewhere in the city, there is someone who needs my help. Somewhere in my city, there's someone who needs my help. My only job today is to go out and find them and help them. Say that affirmation every day. That's the Rainmaker's affirmation. Take massive and consistent action, Bill's touched on that, action every day to generate leads. Get to 100 people in your database as fast as possible. Here's another one.
Hold on. All of you guys have easily 100 people in your database. If you don't have 100 people in your database, that's your job today. Your job by the end of next week is 200 people in the database. No more messing around. Business is about your database. Quit. Get that thing off of your list. Come on.
Go, Bill. Trust your instincts. Connect with your why every single day. Build the right habits and don't be afraid to make mistakes, and know your numbers to get to your financial goals. And then I reached out to another chat that we have in the office of top 20 agents, and I asked for tips from them, and they said, I would say stay in. This is from Cynthia. I would say stay in touch with in contact with your database sphere. The smallest touch can make the biggest difference, right? Get your contacts in one. This is from Michelle. Get your contacts in one place ASAP. Command, identify in the database who you know well and call them. Stalk them on Facebook and start talking to their friends. Add those friends to the database and send them handwritten cards introducing yourself further. Always come from value in talking with people. And then Cynthia said, that's right, Michelle. Best practice is to do PUB, personal, useful, and brief, which we learned yesterday. And Sissy says, I would say, do not wait to start farming and work your sphere. They are your gold mine. I have never paid for leads because my sphere has kept me busy. And then Heather says, I had no database here in the state of Georgia, so I did open houses as a way to build mine. I'm really good at customer faces. In fact, I prefer to be in front of people than cold calling. I also door knocked and built my business around that. Then the referrals from close clients poured in. Now I still do open houses and I'm getting my database intact and touched. Since I'm not from Georgia and most of my sphere of influence is in New York and California, I also give a lot of referrals nationwide. That helps build relationships with agents in multiple cities, and I receive their referrals when clients move our way. Any comments, questions about these?
Who was that last one from? I'm sorry.
Heather Hare.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so if you're from a different city, Anthony, and you don't have a huge sphere here, she would be a great, that would be resourceful to go and talk to Heather. And
yeah, we have spoken. It sounded like I didn't hear who you said, and I was like, oh yeah, okay.
Sounds like Heather.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know sometimes I've heard from different people that moving to Georgia with the way that Southerners are is very different from the North, and so the brusque kind of to the point is I've heard somebody say that his natural thing of just saying I'm getting to the point right now doesn't always work here, and I'm like, people are people everywhere you go. Just identify their personality.
Exactly.
You know, there are certain people that you can be very direct and to the point with, and other people that you have to slow down a little bit with.
Agreed.
Right. But pretty much everyone likes to have fun.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Right. So ask yourself, like, how can I make this fun? How can I make this person smile? How can I make this person enjoy being in my presence?
So there's a pro
And how
tip.
can I enjoy being in their presence?
Yeah, that's a pro tip. Enjoy your days. Be fun to be around. Lift people up. Right.
Yep. Yep. Again, you're always on stage. You cannot not communicate, right? If you're around, you know, let's say you go to the bar and you have too much to drink. What if one of your clients walks in and sees you being a fool, right? You are always on stage, right? You need to dress the part. You need to behave properly. You need to post the right stuff on Facebook. Like I've said before, this is such an awkward topic or a sensitive topic, but remember, you are free to do whatever you want online. However, the world is also free to determine if they want to do business with you based on what you've posted.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not here to tell you can't express your views on politics or fashion or minorities or whatever, but understand that is divisive and you will offend people.
Mm-hmm.
And I can tell you there are days when I have on really baggy SpongeBob, they're my off days, really baggy SpongeBob pajama bottoms, an old t-shirt, my hair's up in a scrunchie, no makeup. And I look at my husband and I go, you married me. And he starts laughing, but I will not go to the grocery store like that, because I've learned that lesson a couple of times, that that's when you meet somebody and they are dressed to the nines and they're somebody you knew from a past life, or there's somebody that maybe are looking and they look at you and they're like, wow, she's fallen far. So just be careful if you run out for a loaf of bread or something, that you at least put on a pair of jeans and, you know, brush your hair, brush your teeth, that kind of thing.
All right, so I'll throw in one that we have not said yet. Top agents track their business.
Yeah, know your numbers.
To keep score. They could tell you whether they're on track or off track. They can tell you whether the appropriate number of people are in the pipeline. They can tell you what their profit and loss numbers are. They can tell you what their goals are for the next year, 3 years, 5 years. They're super intentional.
Yeah, and they even, there was one agent that I researched and she said, I know when I run any kind of a campaign, whether it's Facebook, whether it's an ad, whether it's whatever it is, she said, I have a way to capture where that came from so that I know whether it's successful or not. And she said, and if I can't figure it out, I'll always say, how did you find out about us? And she said, and then I'm able to track that particular campaign, because that's, did I say lead with revenue? That was one of the very first ones, lead with revenue. And this is a really important one. There are a lot of people that want our business as real estate agents. They make all kinds of promises. Oh, I can get you so many leads for you're going to get 15 to 25 leads a month and you're going to close 3 of them. And oh, by the way, there's a 6-month contract. Well, if they're so good, why do they have a contract? Why aren't they month to month? Do not fall for that. Don't spend money before you've exhausted your resources. It's a way to go out of business really fast. So there's certainly some good companies out there. There's some good media companies out there, some good marketing companies out there. Make sure if you hear something, they all sound too good to be true. I promise you, they all sound too good to be true. Vet them with another agent who's used them, with more than one agent who's used them. Research them, review them, and you'll find a lot of clarity around those things. But lead with revenue.
Yep. One other that I think is super important is, and this, you might say this is only applicable for higher level agents, but I would disagree with that. Everyone needs a buddy at the office. Everybody.
Yeah.
So when you decide to go out of town, or you've got a family emergency or something of that nature, make sure you've developed a relationship with somebody that you feel comfortable sharing, like a password with or whatever, where I could say, Anthony, I'm going to the beach this weekend and I don't want to be disturbed. Okay. I don't want to be disturbed. So on my voicemail, it's going to say, if you got any real estate questions, I want you to call Anthony. Anthony is going to take care of everything you need. And Anthony knows how to get into my DocuSign. He knows how to get into my email if necessary. He knows how I want my stipulations written. He knows what's going on with particular files that I might be, navigating. And I've kind of clued him in to say, hey, this guy might need to do this, and this woman might need to see this home. And then I can totally get out of the real estate mindset for a few days. And then because Anthony has been kind enough to do that for me, not only is he learning, right? This is just another way of learning, but I also will do that for him. And then he can actually have a life worth living also. Okay.
Right.
And I would say, don't wait till you go out of town to call somebody. Develop that relationship along the way, and make sure that I think, especially, I was talking with Michael about this, because Michael's in Italy or going to Italy. And we had the conversation about that for his seller, it's really important that he gets to meet his seller, Margaret, gets to meet the person who's going to be handling his business before he leaves, so that she's comfortable as well. I think that's a real important piece of it. It's not, hey, I'm gone, here's so-and-so, they're going to be taking care of business. Give them the courtesy of an introduction and make them feel comfortable with it as well. That's professional.
That also comes from knowing your people. Yeah. All right, guys. We have gone over time as usual. I appreciate you being with us. We're trying to find the balance between just continuing to pour into you and making sure that we don't interfere with your time block. So appreciate your being here today. Hopefully there's some lessons you learn. Remember, it's not too late to register for Bold. We can catch you up very quickly, and we will see you soon. Have a great day.
Bye, everybody.